Guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Don't mind the little blemish there. Got a pimple. It happens when you're stressed. Today I'm going to be talking about the Game Awards and why I'm very disappointed in it. But there is a matter that I want to address first. Sorry about that. I had to clear the floor so I can actually move. I've become aware of a lot of the issues with YouTube nowadays, so I'm going to address that very, very quickly. For those who don't know, YouTube has making things a lot more complicated for its creators, and I feel like my channel might be part of that struggle, because basically it all comes down to kid-friendly content and not kid-friendly content, and to sum things up, if you're like on the borderline of being kids content and not kids content, you're screwed. And that's basically where I'm at. I talk about video games, Mario games, Luigi's Mansion, SpongeBob. You know, I talk about very child-friendly topics, but I do not regard my channel as a kids channel. I swear, I drink in some of my videos, or in some of my live streams, so to me, it's not a kid-friendly channel. And, there's been a lot of controversy around that now, and, you know, there's things about people's channels being taken down if things aren't marked correctly, so, hopefully, when that issue comes up next year, January 1st, 2020, hopefully my channel doesn't disappear, hopefully I don't get sued, or hopefully I don't lose videos, or lose monetization on videos. Yeah, so that's that. I guess that's really all I have to say on that front, because some people were talking about it in my Discord chat, and I've been kind of following it, so I figured that I would address that matter. So, without any further ado, guys, let's talk about the Game Awards and why it's kind of making me a little bit angry.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
So everyone's been doing videos about the Video Game Awards. You know, everyone's been talking about it because, you know, Smash reveals and the nominations went up. And I had to look at the nominations, and I was really, really confused. Now, this is going to be a really weird thing to talk about without sounding too biased, and I don't know where it is. I want to know why this game is not on Game of the Year. Now, you know, if it the main reason I'm complaining about this, first of all, you guys know I really like this game. I don't love it to ever so loving extent to where it's my favorite game of all time, but I do really like the game. The first one is still better in my opinion, but neither here nor there. But I will acknowledge that most of every single reviewer loved this game. I didn't see one negative review about it. The lowest score I saw was, I think, a 7.5, and I think that was only one score. The rest of them were like 8 or 80 and above, which is really, really good for a game. So when a game like Control or a game like Death Stranding that were really, really mixed, that not a lot of people really, really liked, it's kind of hard to be like, this game sat so well with audiences, lots of people loved it. Why is it not Game of the Year contender? And also, why is it only going to get one reward? Or why is it only nominated for one award? I'm pretty certain it's gonna win the category that it's in, which is Best Family Game. So it's either going to be this or Smash Brothers. The reason why I'm thinking it might be this is because it's fresh in people's mind, because it just came out. And, you know, this game just had so much charm to it. It had a really cool art style. You know, again, not my cup of tea, but lots of people like the art style. The animation in this game is beautiful. One of the best animated games of all time. It literally looks like a Pixar movie when you're watching the cutscenes. You know, there's a lot of great things about this game, and I'm like, this game didn't get the love it deserved. Like, it really didn't. Like, so Control is better than Luigi's Mansion 3 to where it stands a chance? Like, I don't get it. I mean, Outer Worlds, I understand being there. What else was on there? Smash Brothers Ultimate, I can understand being there because it couldn't have been there last year. Sekiro, whatever that game was, That's completely fine. Resident Evil 2, while it is a remake, it's so different than the game it was based off of that I think it does count, personally. And that's probably the one I'm going to end up voting for, to be honest. But I think that this game should have been nominated for Game of the Year, personally. It was unique in its own right. It had, like, lots of people, like, praise the game for its animation, praise it for its visuals. I've heard so many YouTubers calling this the best looking Switch game, and I can definitely agree with that. It's definitely the best looking Switch game out there. The overall, like I said, the animation is beautiful. The multiplayer is really, really fun. So there's definitely a lot of things about Luigi's Mansion 3 that really stand out to me that make this game, to me, worth at least a nomination. Whether or not it would win, I don't care. That's just a matter of people's opinion. But the fact that Control, a game that got like 70s on Metacritic, and then we have Death Stranding, which is a very controversial game that you have 10 times throughout your whole competition. By the way, Jeff Keighley, I know you love Hideo Kojima. I know you're in the game, but you can't show favoritism. That's just complete favoritism. And there are so many, not just Luigi's Mansion 3, there are so many other games that could have been there. And I get it. There are only 6 spots, but make more. Make 10 nominees. There are ways to make this better and take out the rubbish ones. Take out Control, and I'd even say take out Death Stranding. I mean, I heard Gears 5 was really, really good. I heard Borderlands 3 was really, really good. I heard Fire Emblem 3 Houses was really, really good. Luigi's Mansion 3 was really, really good. Kingdom Hearts 3 was pretty good. So there's a lot of really good games that came out this year. This year was pretty strong for video games. But Control, you're going to tell me that Control and Death Stranding have better reputations than Luigi's Mansion 3, Borderlands 3, and Fire Emblem 3 Houses? I don't think that's a safe assumption to make. Like, I get it that Luigi's Mansion is an acquired taste, Borderlands 3 is an acquired taste, but so is Death Stranding. In fact, that's the whole point of why it reviewed so mixedly, because... Mixedly, is that a word? Either way, because of the fact that it wasn't a game for everyone. It was a very acquired taste. The combat was slow. There was a lot of exploring, very open world, not much to do from what I've been hearing at least. So while I've been told Death Stranding is a great game, it's not for everyone, and not everyone will like it. And I have a theory that Death Stranding, I think that Jeff Keighley thinks that Death Stranding will win Game of the Year. And I don't think it will. I think that right would be either given to Smash Bros. Ultimate or Resident Evil 2. I think one of those two are going to win. Definitely won't be Control. I think Sekiro, whatever that game was called, didn't get enough publicity to really, be a top contender of the Game of the Year. Like, the game, from what I heard, is great, so it definitely deserves to be nominated. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be nominated. I'm saying it's kind of like, not everyone's heard of it. I think it'd be kind of the same boat as Luigi's Mansion 3. I can't see Luigi's Mansion 3 winning Game of the Year, but I definitely would have thought over Control and even Death Stranding, I thought it would have been nominated, but that's neither here nor there. But either way, yeah, it's just... I don't want to say I'm angry, because at the end of the day, I never personally cared about the Game Awards much. They were always just kind of, there. I would watch it in case there is, sort of announcement or anything. Like last year, we got Joker confirmed and all that. So maybe, we'll get some confirmations or something like that, or announcements. And that'll be really, really cool. But in terms of the actual awards... I mean, I like the awards thing too. But there seems to be a lot of bias when it comes to it this year. And like I said, I get it. Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima are close. Jeff Keighley was in Death Stranding. I get it. But I feel like that should automatically disqualify it from Game of the Year then. Because don't you think that with Jeff Keighley's show and the game Jeff Keighley was in, don't you think there'd be some bias? And I get it, it's mostly fan voted, but there is a third party that's also going to be contributing to who's going to win the categories. And given that Death Stranding is in 10 of them, I think it's a bit rubbish that Death Stranding is in as many categories. It'd be one thing if it was in 2 other categories and then Game of the Year. It's in 10 10 categories out of like 20 something. So it's in like almost half the categories. So basically, Hideo Kojima is definitely going to go home with some awards, and it's like, so is that your way to make sure that Hideo Kojima is happy? You put his game into 10 different categories to make sure that he wins something? To me, that's got fishy smelling all over it, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's unfair to games like Luigi's Mansion 3, and, you know, like, I mean, the funny thing is, Man of Medan, I know it wasn't a perfect game, but this game wasn't even in any of the categories. Like, I think it had, like, as much as the game was glitchy and kind of bugged in areas, it had pretty decent storytelling, the characters were pretty engaging, so it wasn't a perfect game by any means. It's really, really short, but it was still a fun game. And, you know, just not seeing that game at all. And Luigi's Mansion 3 only appearing in one category. And that category just happened to have every single Nintendo game in it. I mean, it's Yoshi's Crafted World was in that same category, you know? I think Luigi's Mansion 3 should have been in way more of the categories. Now, I'm not saying every single category should have Luigi's Mansion 3. There are certain categories, like I think Best Action Adventure Game, because it's kind of, I think they classify this game as an action adventure. So I definitely think that could have, you know, they could put Luigi's Mansion 3 in there. Game of the Year, like I said. I think there's like visual style. I think Luigi's Mansion 3 could have been in. So there's definitely some categories that Luigi's Mansion 3 should have been in that it just wasn't. I think some of it is due to Jeff Keighley and the team designing each category very specifically so that some things win and some things wouldn't. Like, maybe Control is Game of the Year because no one's going to vote for Control, so that's one less slot to worry about for Death Stranding winning. And I know I'm making this all out to be very cynical, but nevertheless, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Death Stranding if you guys have played it? I know I'm kind of biased towards Luigi's Mansion 3, but I'm not, like Luigi's Mansion 3, as much as I love the game, it's nowhere near perfect for me. Like, and it's in every way that it isn't perfect for me, it is for everyone else. So that's just me being nitpicky, you know. So I don't know. This Game Award seems a bit rigged, a bit predetermined in my personal opinion. But what do I know? Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys think. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.